Bismillah. Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi amma ba'd. We continue going over the blue book, and today we're going to be going over lesson 10 and some of lesson 11 bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Before we begin, we just want to quickly read over lesson 9. Go back to lesson number 9, and we're going to read it without breaking it down, and you guys can repeat after me. You guys have it open? Lesson number 9. Lesson number 9?
Yeah.
Okay. Amana. Now repeat after me, inshallah. Amana.
Amana.
Awa.
You said 9, right?
No. No. Let me get it. No, lesson 9, not page 9, yeah. Yeah. آنية إيلاف أين به جاء جيء جوع خوف خير داود ذلك رضوا شاء مالك شيء طغى طغوا طيرا عاد على عين فيه قال قول كان كيدا كيف لوح ليس مالا نارا ماء ويل يوم يراه حاسد حافظ دافق شاهد عابد عائلا غاسق ناصر والد أعوذ أكيد يخاف يداه يقال ترابا حسابا سباتا سراجا سلام شدادا شرابا صوابا طعام طعام عذاب عطاء غثاء
غثاء
كتابا
كتابا
كراما
كراما
لباسا
لباسا
لسانا
لسانا
مآبا
مآبا
متاعا
متاعا
مطاع
مطاع
عن
عين
عن
عين
عن
عين
مطاع
مطاع
معاشا
معاشا
مفازا
مفازا
مهادا
مهادا
نباتا
نباتا
وفاقا
وفاقا
ثبورا
ثبورا
رسول
رسول
شهود
شهود
قعود
قعود
وجوه
وجوه
أثيم
أثيم
أليم
عليم
بصيرا
بصيرا
خبيرا
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 run
رن
run
رن
run
Run.
be careful saying run not run run
رن
run خبيرا
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 رحيق
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 شهيد
شهيد
عظيم
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 قريبا
قريبا
كريم
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 مجيد
مجيد
محيط
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 نعيم
نعيم
يتيما
يتيما
يسيرا
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 رويدا
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 قريش
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 عيشة
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 الموءودة
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 موضوعة
موضوعة
موازينه
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 يومئذ
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 يومئذ.
Today, inshallah, we'll be going over lesson number 10, As-Sukoon. What is the sukoon? When the letter does not have any vowel. No fatha, no kasra, no dhamma, no tanween. Then it has a what? Sukoon. When the letter has a sukoon, it is called as being sakin. What do we call a letter that has sukoon? It is what? Sakin. Is that clear? Now the letter, sometimes you might see a sukoon mark on top of it, like that. Or you might see a circle mark, a complete circle. Or you might see the letter has nothing on it. If it's nothing on it, it's a sukoon by default. Is that clear? So you're going to repeat after me. Hamza fatha ba sukoon ab. Hamza fatha ba sukoon ab.
So
So as you can see, we don't say babu bi. No, we just say what? Ab. Is that clear? Hamza kasra ba sukun ib.
Hamza kasra ba sukun ib.
Now let's combine the sound. Ab ib.
Ab ib.
Hamza dhamma ba sukun ub.
Hamza dhamma ba sukun ub.
Ab ib ub.
Ab ib ub.
Next, Hamza fatha ta sukun at.
Hamza fatha ta sukun at.
Hamza kasra ta sukun it.
Hamza kasra ta sukun it.
Now let's combine the two sounds. At it.
At it.
Hamza dhamma ta sukun ut.
Hamza dhamma ta sukun ut.
At it ut.
At it ut.
Hamza fatha tha sukun ath.
Hamza fatha ta sukun ath.
Hamza kasra tha sukun ith.
Hamza kasra ta sukun ith.
Ath ith.
Ath ith.
Hamza dhamma tha sukun uth.
Hamza dhamma tha sukun uth.
Ath ith uth.
At ith uth.
Hamza fatha jim sukun aj.
Hamza fatha jim sukun aj.
Hamza kasra jim sukun ij.
Hamza kasra jim sukun ij.
Aj ij.
Aj ij.
Hamza dhamma jim sukun uj.
Hamza dhamma jim sukun uj.
Aj ij uj.
Aj ij uj.
Hamza fatha ha sukun ah.
Hamza fatha ha sukun ah.
Hamza kasra ha sukun ih.
Hamza kasra ha sukun ih.
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 Ah. Ih.
Ah ih.
Ah. Ih.
Ah ih.
Middle of the throat. Ah. Ih.
Ah ih.
Hamza dhamma ha sukun uh.
Hamza dhamma ha sukun uh.
Ah. Ih. Uh.
Ah ih. Uh.
Ah. Ih. Uh.
Ah ih. Uh.
Hamza fatha kha sukun akh.
Hamza fatha ha sukun akh.
Akh.
Ah.
Hamza kasra kha sukun ikh.
Hamza kasra kha sukun ih.
Akh. Ikh.
Ah ih.
Hamza dhamma kha sukun ukh.
Hamza dhamma kha sukun ukh.
Akh. Ikh. Ukh.
Ah ih. Ukh.
Hamza fatha dal sukun ad.
Here's a question.
Naam.
You mind saying like the order on time?
Naam. The order of where the letters are going from?
Like where we're starting from to the end of it?
Naam. So as you can see here, the author, the first letter is what? Ba. He's starting from the letters that come from the lips. Then he goes to the ta, from the tip of the tongue. Then the tha, which is also where? Tip of the tongue. Then the jim. Where does the jim come from? Middle of the tongue. Aj. Aj. Middle of the tongue touches the palate. Then the ha. Naam. Then he's going to what? Now he's going downwards. Naam. The middle of the throat. Then the kha. Then the dal. Dal. Naam.
In other words, he's going through the letters in sequential order. Ba, ta, tha, jim, ha, kha, and so on. Down the line like that. Combining each letter with the Hamza, Fatha, Hamza, Kasra, and Hamza, Dhamma. That's what he's doing. And so the whole block is divided into 6. As you can see, 6 columns. The first 3 columns are for one letter. The next 3 columns are for the next letter. And each one is tested with Hamza, Fatha, Hamza, Kasra, Hamza, Dhamma. And the purpose of this lesson is sukoon. Each of those letters, from ba to ta, each of those letters has a sukoon, and we're testing them with the hamza to see what they sound like when a hamza fatha or hamza kasra or hamza dhamma is paired with a letter that has a sukoon. That is the purpose of this lesson, to test what the sukoon sounds like on each of those letters from ba to the end.
Naam, Jazakallah khair. Afwan, what I was stating earlier, that wasn't for this lesson. That was actually for lesson number 4. The letter of the orders, where he starts from the tip of the tongue going downwards. Now, that's not this lesson. This lesson, he's just going over the regular letters. But as the Ustad said, we're going over Hamza Fatha, then we put Ba Sukun. Then we go over Hamza Kasra with the Ba Sukun. Then we go over Hamza Dhamma with the Ba Sukun. Is that what you're asking about or what?
I was saying like, say if you said like Hamza, then like what is the order?
So, okay, very good. First you say the letter, Hamza. After the letter you say the vowel, Fatha, Hamza Fatha. Then you say the next letter, Hamza Fatha, Ba. Then you say whatever is on that next letter, Ba Sukun. Is that clear? So for example, let's go to the next one. First you say, I'm on line number 1, box number 2. What do you say first? The letter, which is a what? Line number 1, box number 2. What do we say first? Hamza. What vowel does it have? Kasra. So what do we say? Hamza Kasra. Now let's go to the next letter. Ba. What does it have? Sukun. So we say Ba Sukun. Now we bring them together. What sound does it make? Ib. That's what we're doing. You see that? Let's say box number 3. What letter is that? Hamza. What vowel does it have? Dhamm. Hamza Dhamma. Let's go to the next letter. Ba. What's that? What does it have on it? Sukun. Now let's bring the sound together. What sound does this make? Ube. Next one. What letter is the first one? Hamza. What vowel does it have? Fatha. So what do we say? Hamza Fatha. Next letter. What is the next letter? Ta. What does it have on it? Sukun. So what do we say? Ta Sukun. Is that clear? Now bring the sound together. What sound does these two make? At. Is that clear? At. What sound does that make? At. Naam. Where were we?
Just a pointer.
Naam.
When we're spelling, the Ustad was mentioning that we mention the letter first, and then the vowel that goes with it, and then we put them together. But we've reached a stage in which when we mention the letter and mention the vowel on it, before we put them together, we have to look at the next letter. If the next letter has a sukun, it is linked to what we spelled before we put them together, or if it has a mad. So in this case, we say, we look at box 1, line number 1 for the first box. Hamza Fatha is normally A, but we don't say A yet because the what comes after it is a sukun. That has to be linked to what we are currently spelling. So we say Hamza Fatha Ba Sukun Ab. That's how we put them together. You have to first look at what comes after what you spelled. If it is a mad or a sukun, you add it to what you're currently spelling so you can put them together. So it's easier to pronounce. So that's why we're spelling these two. That's why we're combining the Hamza and the Ba together, because the Ba is a sukun. So this is what we normally do when we spell. When you've done the letter and the vowel, you have to look at the next one first. If it is sukun, you have to add it to what you are currently spelling. Or if it's a mad, you have to add it to what you're currently spelling and then put them together.
So what do we say here now? I'm on line number what? 4. So how do we start? What do we say? Hamza. Then we say the vowel. What is the vowel? Fatha. So what do we say? Hamza Fatha. Now we have the next letter. What do we say? Dal. What does it have on it? Sukun. So what do we say? Hamza Fatha Dal Sukun. What sound do these two make? Ad. Naam. Just keep repeating after me, inshallah, it'll be easier. Hamza Kasra Dal Sukun Id.
Hamza Kasra Dal Sukun Id.
Ad. Now we're bringing the sounds together. Hamza Dhamma Dal Sukun Ud.
Hamza Dhamma Dal Sukun Order.
Ad, id, ud.
Ad Id Order.
Hamza Fatha Dhal Sukun Adh.
Hamza Fatha Dal Sukun Ad.
Adh.
Ad.
Hamza Kasra Dhal Sukun Idh.
Hamza Kasra Dal Sukun Id.
Adh, idh.
Ad Id.
Hamza Dhamma Dhal Sukun Udh.
Hamza Dhamma Dal Sukun Ud.
Adh, idh, udh.
Ad Id Ud.
Hamza Fatha Ra Sukun Ar.
Hamza Fatha Ra Sukun Ar.
Hamza Kasra Ra Sukun Ir.
Hamza Kasra Ra Sukun Ir.
Ar, Ir.
Ar Ir.
Hamza Dhamma Ra Sukun Ur.
Hamza Dhamma Ra Sukun Ur.
Ar, Ir, Ur.
Ar Ir Ur.
Hamza Fatha Za Sukun Az.
Hamza Fatha Za Sukun Az.
Hamza Kasra Za Sukun Iz.
Hamza Kasra Za Sukun Is.
Az, Iz.
Az Is.
Hamza Dhamma Za Sukun Uz.
Hamza Dhamma Za Sukun Uz.
Az, Iz, Uz.
Az Is Uz.
Hamza Fatha Sin Sukun As.
Hamza Fatha Sin Sukun As.
Hamza Kasra Sin Sukun Is.
Hamza Kasra Sin Sukun Is.
As, Is.
As Is.
Hamza Dhamma Sin Sukun Us.
Hamza Dhamma Sin Sukun Us.
As, Is, Us.
As Is Us.
Hamza Fatha Shin Sukun Ash.
Hamza Fatha Shin Sukun Ash.
Hamza Kasra Shin Sukun Ish.
Hamza Kasra Shin Sukun Ish.
Ash, Ish.
Ash Ish.
Hamza Dhamma Shin Sukun Ush.
Hamza Dhamma Shin Sukun Ush.
Ash, Ish, Ush.
Ash Ish Ush.
Hamza Fatha Sad Sukun As.
Hamza Fatha Sad Sukun As.
Hamza Dhamma Sad Hamza Kasra Sad Sukun Is.
Hamza Kasra Sad Sukun Is.
As, Is.
As Is.
Hamza Dhamma Sad Sukun Us.
Hamza Dhamma Sad Sukun Us.
As, Is, Us.
As Is Us.
Hamza Fat. Hana.
Can you please highlight to us how we can distinguish the sword from the sin?
Now the scene is as light, as, whereas the sword is heavy. As, meaning the back of the tongue goes upwards. As, whereas the scene is light. As. We see the difference? Next one. Hamza Fatha Dad Sukun Ad.
Hamza Fatha Dad Sukun Ad.
Hamza Kasra Dad Sukun Id.
Hamza Kasra Dad Sukun Id.
Ad, Id.
Ad Id.
Hamza Dhamma Dad Sukun Ud.
Hamza Dhamma Dad Sukun Ud.
Ad, Id, Ud.
Ad Id Ud.
See this repetition that we're doing? It's a must. It's a must. You can't skip over. You have to train your tongue. No. It's just like any sport you want to do. You got to do those drills, those practices. It's a must. With reading the Qur'an, you got to train your tongue. You got to pronounce. Make sure you're pronouncing correctly. You can't just skip over and think tomorrow you're going to read like a qari without taking these steps. Repetition. But the problem is when you just listen and you don't repeat. That's the problem. Or the problem is when you think you know this already. That's a problem when you think, I know this stuff already. Then the arrogance comes into the heart, and these types of people never learn. May Allah protect us from that. Because this is a must. And then watch, when we start going to the next lessons, and the next lesson, it gets very hard. It picks up very quickly. So that's why this repetition is a what? It's necessary, it's a must. Afwan, Doctor?
More tips about how to say the word correctly.
Now, the dad, the scholars differ on how exactly to pronounce it. But the correct position, Allah knows best, is the left side of the tongue. It touches the left side of the top teeth, the upper teeth. Al-Dha, Al-Dha, Al-Dha. It's a very difficult letter. It's the most difficult letter in the Arabic language.
What do you call it?
They say Lughat al-Dad. The Arabic is the language of the Dad because it's the most unique letter. Naam. Naam. But inshallah, with the Dad, I would say don't stress it too much. With time, that comes with time. Naam. Naam. Let's just do this last line and then we'll go to the next. Hamza fatha ta sukun al-ta.
Hamza fatha ta sukun al-ta.
Hamza kasra ta sukun il-ta.
Hamza kasra ta sukun il-ta.
Al-ta. Il-ta.
Al-ta. Il-ta.
Hamza dhamma ta sukun uta.
Hamza dhamma ta sukun uta.
Al-ta. Il-ta. Uta.
Al-ta. Il-ta. Uta.
Hamza fatha dha sukun adh.
Hamza fatha dha sukun al.
Adh.
Al.
Tip of the tongue between top and bottom teeth. Adh.
Al.
Hamza kasra dha sukun idh.
Hamza kasra dha sukun il.
Adh. Idh.
Al. Il.
Hamza dhamma dha sukun udh.
Hamza kasra dhamma dha sukun ul.
Adh. Idh. Udh.
Al. Il. Ul.
What's the difference between ta and dha? The one with the dot and the one without a dot? The ta,
One's got like a click on
click, naam. The ta has a click. And it comes tip of the tongue behind the front teeth, two front teeth. Al-ta. Ta. Whereas the dha, the one with the dot, no, the tip of the tongue is between the top and bottom teeth. Dha. We see that? Between ta and dha. Which one has a dot? Ta or dha? The first one, the second. Which one has a dot? Second one? I'm going to say it again. Dha, ta. Which one has a dot?
first. You said dog.
The first one, naam. طيب. Naam.
I'm still like my ears, so like I'm not hearing the ha.
The ha. Ha.
I'm always getting corrected on the ha.
Ha. Middle of the throat.
Middle throat.
Say ah. 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 Ha. Ha. Naam. You got to practice it. Middle of the throat. Naam.
Okay.
طيب. I'm going to write some stuff down, and who can break it down for me? Who wants to do this one? The letter ya with the sin.
Okay.
Ya dhamma. Who wants us to break this down?
Yeah.
Ya dhamma.
Sin sukun.
Good. Ya dhamma sin sukun. Yus. Very good. Who wants to do this one? This is the most common mistake people make when they read the Qur'an. These types of mistakes. Is that clear? The sounds when it comes to a sukun letter.
Kha, dhamma, dal, sukun.
Kha dhamma, it's a lam. Kha dhamma lam sukun.
Islam?
No, it's a lam.
Okay. Kha, dhamma, lam, sukun, khul.
Good. Kha dhamma lam sukun khul. What about this one? Fa. You want to try it? Go. Fa dhamma. That's a sad. Fa dhamma sad sukun. What sound does that make? What sound does the fa dhamma make? Fu plus the s. Fu plus sa.
Remember the one he just told us was thick?
Sa. Fu and sa. Fus. Fus.
Because there's a sukun.
The sukun. So you don't say sa. You say fus. No.
Can I just ask a question?
No.
Can you see how you confuse the sword with the meme? And can you see the difference between the sword and the meme? Look at that. Look at that letter carefully and see how it is not like the meme. Do you see?
Is it because it doesn't go down?
Yeah. So see what crosses downwards. Meme does not have that thing that crosses downwards. So don't confuse the sword and the meme.
No, جزاك khair. Who wants to do this one? نعم تفضل.
عين فتحة صاد سكون عص.
Good. عين فتحة صاد سكون عص. الحمد لله. Next one. If you guys can do these, then that means you're in a very good path. Who wants to do this one? Want to try Sheikh Mikhail? قاف قاف فتحة
صاد
ضاد.
It's a dot.
Yeah.
Dot سكون. قد.
قض. أحسنت. قاف فتحة ضاد سكون قض. Very good. Okay. Who wants to do this one? Just add one more letter. Who wants to do it?
قد حن.
Now break it down.
قاف قاف فتحة
قاف فتحة
دال سكون.
قاف فتحة دال سكون.
I should
Now what sound does that make? قاف فتحة دال سكون. What sound does that make?
قد
قد. Good. Now go to the next letter.
ح فتحتين حن.
ح فتحتين حن. Good. Now combine them.
قد حن.
قد حن.
قد حن.
قد حن.
قد حن.
حن.
قد حن.
Good. What's this one? Sheikh Mikhail?
سين
Seen.
فتحة
فتحة.
باء سكون.
Seen فتحة با سكون. What sounds that make?
سبع.
سبع. Remember the ba has a qalqala. سبع.
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 Good.
More of a bounce. More
It has a bounce.
سبع.
سبع.
ها ها فتحتين حن.
حا. Remember ha. Middle of the throat. حا فتحتين حن. Don't try too hard, Sheikh Mikhail. سبحا.
سبحان.
سبحان. سبحان.
You guys ready for the next one? We're going to make it a little harder. It's not too hard though. Who wants to do this one? The back, تفضل.
همزة فتحة لام سكون ال.
حمزة فتحة لام سكون ال.
قاف فتحة
قاف فتحة.
تا سكون.
Good. قاف فتحة تا سكون قت. قت. Remember, قاف is heavy, ta is light. قت.
قد.
Good enough. قت.
قد.
نعم.
القد.
القت.
القد.
جيد. القت. أحسنتم. Who wants to do this one?
That's gonna be different. Okay. Alright. Oh God. I know you gotta put it together. That first one gotta come out first, then you say a little second. Let me see. Sheen
شين فتحة.
Hamza Sukun.
Sheen, Fatha, Hamza, Sukun. What sound does that make?
Sha.
Sha.
I said it.
Sha. No. The Hamza
Sha.
comes from
That you
the
got.
bar of the throat.
So,
Say Sha.
Sha.
Naam.
Sha.
So your voice box opens and closes.
Sha.
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 Naam.
And when you get to that Hamza, there is a bump. Sha.
Okay.
There is a bump when you get to that Hamza.
Like a
Sheen,
smooth
but
bump,
it's not. It's a bump. It's not a smooth sailing anymore.
Sha.
Sha.
The listener has to pick up that.
Sha.
Sha.
So
Sha.
it's Sheen.
So Sheen, Fatha,
Sheen, Fatha, Hamza,
Sheen,
Sukun.
Fatha,
Hamza,
Sukun.
Sukun, Sha.
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 Naam.
Noon, Damatin, Noon.
Noon, Dhammatain, Nun. Good.
Sha. Noon.
Sha. Nun.
Sha. Noon.
Sha. Nun.
Noon.
أحسنت.
So whenever the Fatha
Who wants to do
leads
that one?
before
You want to try it?
Hamza Sukun, it's got a bump on the Hamza.
On the
Hamza,
Hamza,
yeah.
yes.
Sha.
You want to try it?
Kha Dhamma Sheen Sukun Khus.
Kha, Dhamma, Sin, Sukun,
Kha Dhamma Sheen Sukun Khus.
Khus. Good. Kha, heavy, Sin, light. Khus.
Khus. Dal Kasra.
Ra.
Ra Kasratain Rin.
Ra, Kasratain, Rin. The Ra with the kasrat is light. Rin.
Rin. Ra Kasratain Rin.
Good.
Khus Rin.
Khus, Rin. Not Rin. Rin, no.
Rin.
Not Ro. Light. Rin. It's light. The Ra with the kasrat is light. Khus, Rin.
Husrin.
Naam.
Can I say something?
No.
Can you take a look at why you confused the ra with the dal? Why you said that was the dal? The last letter, why you said it was a dal instead of a ra? Can you see why you made that confusion? Why do you think you made that confusion?
Yeah. Now I see the difference.
The ra slips below the baseline. The ra slips below the baseline, and that's why you see that slip below the baseline. So you should not confuse it with the dal.
Okay, I'm going to do a little harder. You guys are ready? Who can do this one? Whoever can do this one, mashallah.
Which one is this? This one you just did?
The new one.
Okay. Is that the love?
Huh?
Is, oh, that's a
It's a noon. Noon, then a kha.
Noon, Fatha, Qaf, Sukun.
Kha.
Qaf, Sukun. Nakh.
Noon, fatha, kha, sukun, nakh.
Okay.
Nakh.
Nakh.
Nakh. Noon light, kha heavy. Nakh.
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 Naam. Nakh.
Lam. Lam. La.
Lam, fatha.
Lam, Fatha, La.
Lam, fatha, la. Now combine it from the beginning.
Nakh. La.
Nakh, la.
Nakh. La.
Good.
Ta. Damatin. Tun.
Ta, dhammatain, tun. Good.
Nakh. Latun.
Nakhlatun.
Nakhlatun.
Nakhlatun. Tun. Pronounce the noon in the tanween.
Nakhlatun.
Nakhlatun. Tun.
Nakhlatun.
Naam.
Yes, it's like tun. Okay. Tun.
Alhamdulillah, mashallah.
I've been through this 50 times. This
Who wants to do this one?
Oh, mashallah.
That's a ayn, in case someone doesn't. You want to do it? Tfadal.
Ayn, Fatha, Sin, Sukun.
And what sound does that make? Ayn, fatha, sin, sukun. What sound does that make? What sound does ayn, fatha make? Ah. right? Now, with the sukoon. A plus as. Good, as. Now go to the next one.
Meme,
That's a ayn.
Ayn, fatha. Is that a sheen?
That's a sin, same thing.
Sin, sukoon.
What sound does that make? Ayn, fatha, sin, sukoon. Again, same sound.
Ayn,
As.
As.
As. So now what sound does all of it make together?
as,
As. You get it? As. Naam.
I said the ayn correctly. As. As. You have to say the ayn correctly both times. As.
Hamza top, I middle,
Ayn is middle of the throat.
and Hamza.
Hamza at the bottom of the throat, way deep close to the chest. Yes.
As.
But this is as, this is middle of the throat. As.
Let's do this one. Now I'm mixing it up. You want to go for it? Who wants to go for it?
Okay. Ha doma. Shin kasra.
No. Remember, you only combine to the next letter if it has a sukoon. That's it. If the next letter has no sukoon, don't combine. You just leave it at ha dhamma hu. You only combine if the next letter has a sukoon.
Ha doma hu.
Ha dhamma hu.
Shin kasra shi.
Sheen kasra shi. Combine.
Hushi.
Na
Hushi.
hushi.
Shi.
Hushi.
Middle of the throat.
Hushi.
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 Hushi. Okay. Ra fatiha ra.
No. He said ra fatha ra. Is that right or wrong?
Wrong.
You gotta combine. Next letter has sukoon.
Okay. Ra fatiha ta sukun. Rat.
Good. Ra fatha ta sukoon. Rat.
Hushrat.
No.
Now look at it again.
Hushirat.
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 Naam. Last one and then we'll call it. Who wants to do it? Next week, what do you think next week we just do,
Read.
no. Next week we're going to do this same thing. We're going to do all random words. طيب? Next week. All class. Who wants to do this one? Sheikh Mikael, تفضل.
Kaf, Dhamma, Ku.
Kaf, dhamma, ku. Good.
Sheen, Kasra, Shi.
Sheen, kasra, shi. Combine them.
Kushi.
Kushi. Kushi.
Kushi.
No, don't say, not ku. Ku.
Kushi.
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 Nah, good.
Kushi. Okay. Ta.
Not ta. Ta.
Ta.
No. No.
Ta. Fatha.
Good. Ta fatha.
Ta sukun.
أحسن. Ta fatha ta sukoon. What sound does that make?
Thought.
Tot.
Thought.
Tot.
Thought. Am I making the T too hard?
Tot.
Thought.
No, I want to pronounce the ta. Tot.
Thought.
Tot.
Thought.
Tot.
Thought.
Good.
Oh, it's thought.
Naam.
Okay. Kushi thought.
أحسنت. Kushi tot. You see, when you break it down like that, now your pronunciation is getting more clear and precise. Because you're giving every letter its what? It's right. Now you're giving every letter its right. We'll stop here, inshallah. Next week, we're going to do this the whole class. Just reading these types of words, inshallah. طيب? Naam. We'll practice like this next week. We'll get more and more words. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.
Jazakallah. Thank you very much.